Hey guys, we're back with the transmission mounts. This is going to be pretty much phase 3/4 with the 92 Fox body build. As you can see, I have my old one already out and the new polyurethane mount side by side. First I'm going to show you basically what I did to get the transmission mount out, what I've done also while you guys were away, and a slight issue that I'm having, and I'll show you what I'm going to do to fix that. Alright, so let's take a peek underneath the car. Is my transmission bracket. It goes up and over the dual exhaust, and it basically holds bottom support onto your transmission mount that in turn bolts into your transmission. So if you go underneath, that's where basically the mount is at. So what I had to do is, you'll see both of these long bolts, or these guys right here, they run through the side horizontally on both sides, and basically you have to pop those out, and that lowers the bracket, and then you can get access to the two rear bolts of the transmission mount. Which are those guys? It's actually still in the socket. The last one, basically it'll fall out. Here, what I did while you guys were away, I did some motor mounts, and I'll show you basically the problem I had with them, and then I double checked these, and these are the same way. So when you line these up, this is the issue you're having. These bolts are just about that much off, if you could tell there. So they should be there, but they're right about there. Alright, so it's a little bit on each side, and I really wish I did that with my motor mounts before I put them in, because I have to do that now while they're on the car. So here's your solution right here. I'm just going to widen these holes up so they work, and I'm also going to double check these as well to make sure they fit into place with the original transmission mount. So we'll put that in, and I tell you what, man, these transmission mounts are like doing an oil change compared to the other motor mounts. So we'll put these in and we'll show you the finished product. Okay, we're back from the cutting. You can see I have the old one on the bottom. What I'm doing is just making sure they're going to line up. So I took a little bit off the bottom there, and then I took a little bit here. So once you have that, you know the bolts are going to fit through, you can go ahead and install it. That's the finished tranny mount. You can see it's all in place, and it's a little view from underneath. If that's coming out, I can't really tell. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so once again, it wouldn't be Duffy's channel if we didn't have to drill out a little bit more. Basically that bracket, the lower bracket, once you have the two upper bolts in, the lower bolts, those ones right there that come with the tranny mount, were too thick to fit through, so you have to drill that out. Then you basically screw those in hand tight. You put these bolts back, cinch them in on both sides, and then you can go back underneath and tighten those ones up and finish it up. You know, lower the two jacks and you'll be done. Okay guys, we're back with the Fox body project. My man here has been giving me a little hand working on a car. Isn't that right? Just wanted to show you basically an issue I'm having, just like the transmission mount. Basically I had these mounts in, the motor mounts in earlier, but I had a problem getting the last bolt in. So this is what I had to resort to. Basically coming back out, taking the motor mount back out again. And like I said earlier, what you want to do is you want to match up. Each motor mount is different from left and right. We finally got these extremely stubborn bolts put into place. As you can see there, I still have the one last one. That's the motor mount bolt that holds it to the frame to go. Try to focus, there you go. So basically what you want to do is jack the car up enough you can get underneath it. you want to loosen those two bolts up, those ones that you can see, one of them are there on the right hand side. Loosen them up, you know, take your motor mounts out, put the new ones in, and you want to install those bolts first. Basically that's going to align it. That's the stud there, and that's the bolt. Basically they both have to line up in that bracket. You could see them both, you know, clear right there. They got to line up before you drop the motor. Once you drop the motor, it falls back into place, and you can put that last bolt on. So that's the stage we're at right now. Those are the last two bolts, and naturally those are the easiest ones to put in. They just kind of screw right on, and you finish with the motor mounts. I got these motor mounts off of Late Model Restoration, I believe, and I'm extremely disappointed in them. I'm sure they'll end up doing their job now that they're in, but I'm not gonna lie, this has taken me probably 3 to 4 days to put these things in. You would think, spending that kind of money, that they would at least line up the freaking holes for you. They don't even line up. So the one main thing I want to get across in this video is that you really have to once you take your old ones out, before you put your transmission mount in or your motor mounts, line up the holes, and you know what, just make them a little bit wider so it's easier for you. You can see the bolts have a built-in washer on them, so they could be a little bit wider. It doesn't really matter as long as you wrench them down pretty good. You know, I'm not looking for 100% perfection. I just wanted the freaking bolts to go in the hole. So do yourself the favor, just widen them up a little bit and make sure you align them first before you put them in. So we'll put those, I think they're 9/16 bolts back in there, the last two, one on each side, and then we'll come back. I'll show you the finished product. Okay, we're back with the finished motor mounts. Yeah, I'm showing you the other side. This is the driver's side. Basically, when I went to tighten this last bolt in, you just want to make sure that little peg that you see there on the bottom will go through that hole. I was lucky enough, and just during tightening it up, it just popped through. So just make sure they go in. Once they're in, it's a good idea. This one over here on the left hand side, those two bolts that screw it to the motor, it's a good idea after you do everything just to give them another turn. Just make sure everything's tightened up. This is also a good opportunity for me to show you the new Pulleys and the Harmonic Balancer. Just when you think you have every tool, you need to go out and buy a Harmonic Balancer installer, and no shit, don't forget the removal tool. Basically, I bought a kit that said it would remove and install the Harmonic Balancer, but all it did was remove it, so I had to go out and buy another installer kit, and there are definitely two separate tools. So make sure, if you're going to do the Harmonic Balancer, that you have both set of tools. I assessed the old, even though there were aluminum underdrive pulleys already on there, they were all beat up and rusted and all thrown out of whack. So I went out, I bought the BBK pulley set, brushed aluminum, and threw it on there as well with the Harmonic Balancer. So you can tell it's a brand new balancer. And now we have our brand new motor mounts, and all the way back there in the rear, kind of, you can see, let me see if I can focus for you. There you go, all the way back into the rear. Though that little red post right there, that's the transmission mount. So they're all in, they're all bolted in place. I'm probably going to put about 2,000 to 3,000 miles on it, come back underneath, and give everything a, you know, once over, tighten everything up, make sure everything's still in place. But there you go, transmission, motor mounts, there's some motor mounts, and the new Harmonic Balancer and Pulleys. Alright guys, happy wrenching, and I'll catch you next time.